Yeah, yeah. Still on track. Wheels don't crack. Truth in our bones. We ain't looking back. Fire in the heart. Tribe on the map. We ride with love, but we don't hold back. Came from the corners, scattered and wide. Strangers at first, now we walk side by side. No bloodline claim, but the spirit runs deep. Adopted in honor, our promise we keep. Tracks got twisted, some folks failed, but we held the line. Truth compelled, the chat was lit. Truth got shared, we heal with rhythm. We rose prepared, now we plant seeds. Teach natural law, truth train 88 strong, no fatal flaw. Ceremonies rise, lyrics blaze. We ride for peace, but we don't suppress. We ride for freedom, not just escape. We ride for healing, not just survival. We ride for truth, not just talk. We ride for love, the kind that walks. We ride for kindness, peace and light. We ride for learning what feels right. We ride for sharing, caring grace. We ride for every sacred space. We rise with rhythm, we rise with grace. True train thunder, we set the pace. No change, no fear, just open skies. We build, we bliss, we energize. We learn the old ways, walk the new. We speak with love, but we ride with truth. From scattered sparks to a blazing flame, we're here with strong. Truth train 88, remember the name. Still on track, wheels don't crack. Truth train 88, we got each other's back. Fire in the heart, tribe on the map. We ride with love, but we don't hold back. Still on track, no turning around. We rise from the roots, we hold sacred ground. Peace in our steps, light in our lane. Truth train 88, remember the name.
There we go. Welcome to the War Room. We are live on Facebook. No, we ain't live on Facebook. They're still messing with us on Facebook, yo. I don't know what it is. We've been way over the whole time frame that you're supposed to wait for new. Apparently, we have a new Facebook profile, but we've had it for a little while, so it doesn't make any sense. But anyways, we're live on YouTube and Rumble. We want to thank everybody for their participation today in the chat. A lot of good information. We got a couple hours in today. We had a couple of other things we had to do in the background. But overall, I love the morning or grand rising chats is what we should call them. Today it was the war room with the tinfoil hats. That's what we had on today. So we don't, in the chats, we don't judge anybody. There's a lot of people in there that have a lot of really great information. You'd be surprised who unmutes their mic and drops it like it's hot.
Oh, yeah. Good information.
So I really appreciate it. I mean, some people that's done their research, you could tell like they're really knowledgeable about certain topics. And when you hit on certain topics in these chats, you never know who may unmute and help out another that may have some questions. So I really, 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 really appreciate everyone's
Good
participation.
conversations, too.
Yeah, we throw things around, but Nadine, she sticks it out with us first thing in the morning too, right? We got Nadine with us from New York. How's it doing?
Everything's good here. It was beautiful tonight. It was like a pink sunset. It was really pretty.
Oh, y'all already had the sunset. That's right. They're an hour ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna be changing the time thing again. I gotta wait 6 months before I change my clocks.
I wish they'd stop doing that.
I never change it on time anyway. I'm not gonna do what they say. I never have.
Right. He wants to be on the show. That's what that is. Rough Beck.
He wants
I hear you, man.
Mama's attention.
I hear you. You let him know. Tell her don't mute. We're trying to silence you. So you got a First Amendment right to bark.
Oh, brother. This little guy. No, it's just when I come on, when I talk on the phone, that's it. He's all over it.
He wants your attention. Attention's elsewhere.
So we got another great show for you today. Hopefully it's something that helps with the process of what we're being presented today in the world, on the mainstream media, and the psychological operation is taking place, and it's targeting, people we love, and and there's really no one that's off limits. So when everybody wakes up and realizes that, all the division will go to the wayside, right?
Yes.
So we got to do our best that we can to counter the narratives that are trying to keep us divided as a country. That's my goal. Um, I want everybody to come together and just communicate. And that way we can get over all this stuff, because fear and ignorance is the real pandemic. Don't tell nobody that though. So ignorance is just to ignore, right? And we all were at that stage, so we have to be patient with others because God was patient with us, right?
And ignorance doesn't mean you're stupid. It means that there's knowledge that you were unaware of, right? Which makes us make bad decisions and treat people the wrong way because of the lack of knowledge, right? And Jesus saying, "If my people will perish from the lack of knowledge," right? So, and some of that's not our fault, right? A lot of things were hidden from us, and we're busy and not really even knowing that there's things that we should have looked into, right? So this awakening really helped all that.
So the people are coming together, or they wouldn't be investing so much money into propagandizing you. So it's really working. It's just that the it's people calling other people evil when they themselves are the ones doing the evil. So it says, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil." So it's like now they're going to war with the saints. In other words, so if you're following the Book of Revelations or your end times prophecies and stuff, this is that part, in my opinion, where they're just at war with the saints, and they call us woke right and woke left. A woke means I don't know who the hell came up with that one, but it's just another word for awake. I'm awake. I can smell the bullshit, right? So it was demonized, and just like any other thing that's being demonized right now, right? The left demonizes the right, and the right demonizes the left, and they just, so it's a lot of that going around. So I don't want to tell y'all what to do, but don't get caught up in it. Realize what it is that's manipulating people. These are the same people that told you the bioweapon was totally safe and effective, right? And they were all working in unity when it came to the globalists were all working in unison when it came to shutting down the country for 2 weeks and then causing so much issues, destroying small businesses and stuff like that. And so let's keep that in mind in what we're dealing with. So the battlefield's in the mind. All they got to do is put up a sign and tell you that's not a pile of shit, but it is, right?
That's right.
I mean, Vegas is losing um, tourism. So the first thing that they thought of to get tourists back were signs. And I thought, yeah, telling everybody when they walk by up and down the streets how great Vegas is. So if you don't think the mind, so instead of actually making it, more affordable like they were, I believe at one point you can go there and eat for free and gamble all night. But now it's like 3 times as much it costs. They're overcharging everything. So their answer wasn't to make everything cheaper. Their answer was to put up signs and just tell them it's amazing. Tell them it's this, tell them it's that. And right. So the mind is very powerful. And I think the second thing they offered, other than street signs, was 10 free bagels. If you go to if you check in at one of the motels, you get 10 free bagels or something stupid like that, right? So they're really not being as um, giving anymore, right? Now they're just taking, I mean, every little dollar. But anyways, it could be a good thing. But so the economy is even in Orlando and other the theme parks as well. You're having issues. I know we talked about this, so I'm gonna end it right there. But we'll get the point. But let me get into the show. Glad to have everybody here. So now we got enough people on. Usually takes about, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes into the show, and then to get to full speed, A few things taking place. Let's start off with the president showed up today to have a meeting at the White House with Trump. Um, it was a brief meeting, and he didn't take any questions. So apparently, they're working on some kind of a peace deal, and they're giving Hamas a deadline. They have to take the deal, or they're going to let Netanyahu handle that with whatever that means, right? So that's what's going on the world stage. So we see with. I want to play a couple of clips here. We got a couple of videos, some really good ones. But let me start with this one right here, and we'll get into the. Let's open with this.
Who are the Christians? The Quran tells them or calls them Nasara. The Quran does not call Christians Masihiyin. The Quran does not call them Christians. It calls them Nasara. Why? Nasara literally means the victors. The victors of who? The victors of Jesus, peace be upon him. It's actually a good name. It's referring to the original followers of Christ. The ones who supported Isa alayhi salam, and among them are the Hawariyun, the disciples and the descendants who stood up for him. They were Muslims, they were believers. Among them were the righteous. Or it also talks about Nazareth, where Jesus Christ, Isa alayhi salam, grew up in. They are also considered originally from the Jews. Some call Jesus a Jew, but Muslims in the Quran doesn't call Isa alayhi salam a Jew, because the word Jew came out afterwards, after the fall of the kingdom of Judah. This is also in the Jewish dictionary for those who deny it. It came out somehow, and they mean the Jews who came from the Israelites, they say. But Isa is not called a Jew in the Quran, nor is Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ma kana Ibrahimu Yahudiyan wala Nasraniyan. Allah says Ibrahim alayhi salam was not a Jew, nor was he a Christian, but he was a righteous man who worshipped Allah alone. The Christians, brothers and sisters, have different denominations: Pentecostal, Presbyterian, Lutheran, Baptist, Methodist, Roman Catholic, Orthodox, the list goes on. And the Holy Book is the modern name, but the Bible, the Old and the New Testament. It's got the Old Testament, which includes the Torah, and the New Testament. The New Testament is an interpretation of the Injil, as they call it, the Gospel. But the Injil, the Gospel, that came from Paul, a man who they think is righteous, came after Isa alayhi salam, and then under the names Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, around 70 to 120 years after Isa alayhi salam. And they are biographies of Jesus Christ, Isa alayhi salam, but only from parts of the original Injil, not the identical one. The authors of the Christian Bible are unknown, of the New Testament. They are anonymous mysteries. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are called placeholder names, which means generic, of non-existent people. Nobody knows who authored the Christian Bible. They are not the actual words of Allah revealed to Jesus and the Injil, as the Injil mentioned in the Quran. However, we call them the people of the book.
And there you go. We're going to share a little something about Nasara.
So the Nasara were the people that followed Christ. Nazarene, Nasara. That's what they were called. And they were the original Christians with the original teachings.
There you go.
The Muslims are very aware of Jesus and Mary. And there's a scripture in the Nag Hammadi where Jesus and John the Baptist meet Muhammad, have dinner, and calls him his brother.
And the Jews say, the Christians stand not on anything, nothing true. And the Al-Nasara, or Christians, say, the Jews stand not on anything, although they both recite the book. So the above also makes it clear that they have scriptures that they reference. Amongst the group of the Nasara, at the time of the prophet, there also existed priests. and monks who also identified themselves as Nasara. Indeed, we are Nasara. That is because there are among them priests, spelled Qissis, and monks, spelled Ruhban, Reuben, and because they are not proud or arrogant, and say the Jews and Christians, al-Nasara, we are the children of God and his beloved. So this statement of children's God implying favored creation of God's people is quite consistent with the biblical scriptures, which often speak of children of God or God's people. Hence, there is an implicit linkage between the biblical scriptures and the claims of the Nasara, further cementing the fact that they were Christians claiming to follow Christ. The above arguments from the Quran makes it absolutely clear as to who the Nasara were. The term Nasara, plural, is a collective term known to the Arabs to describe a people that claimed to follow Prophet Jesus, because they knew Jesus was a prophet.
And that's from the Quran.
So the original followers of Jesus were called Nasara.
Who spoke
Nasara. Right.
Arabic
So,
was his native tongue. So, like you said, he was not Jew. He was not a Jew or a Christian, right? He was himself.
so we stay divided out of ignorance. And this is the the more you know, the more you grow, right?
That's right.
And like somebody said in the chat, wise people look at change as growing, right? Or change or change is growth, right?
Yes.
And we just have to constantly, because a belief is just something that can be later proven not true or true. Then it becomes a fact or knowledge, right? But so here we are, we see Nasara. Um, so Vincent Kennedy puts out right here, and the way Christians are being manipulated is diabolical. Guys, people need to wake up. You don't have time to play. Why does he say that? Why does Vincent Kennedy say that?
Because they are.
Right. Because Benjamin Netanyahu declared today that the Bible foretold Israel's current battles in the Middle East using scripture to justify ongoing wars. We're worshiping the God of war. So he warned that those who curse Israel will be cursed, inciting that anyone who attacks will pay a heavy price, while those who ally with, right, um, with those who ally with Israel will remain safe and secure. Netanyahu claims this prophecy is unfolding right now before the world's eyes. So who does he want to go to war with, right? The Middle Eastern nations.
Right.
World War III.
Because they don't want us to know what they know and
Right.
they come together.
Right.
Yeah.
They're trying to stop something they can't stop,
Right.
which is the people waking up.
Right. Because if the
That's what they fear.
the people in the West, the Americans, find that out, then that changes. That's a whole game changer, right?
Right. Then all the manipulation that they've been doing to keep us into war so that they can
Right.
um
It won't work.
yeah, it won't work. And it's not working. And the people are waking up and calling it out. And that's why they're investing millions upon millions of more dollars that your politicians send to them. They're now paying back into the pockets of the politicians and the podcasters, propagandists on the left and the right, guys. Both sides are in the or you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But then we get to the weapons.
So that's what Nasara is.
Right. So it's the show must go on, right? It's the same puppet behind Hamas is the same puppet behind ISIS, is the same puppet behind Al Qaeda, the same puppet behind the Taliban, the same puppet behind, maybe even the Antifa being those could be because they wear masks and then they go out there and they tear up shit. Not all of them, but the ones that do the agitators on both sides, the left and the right. On J6, we had agitators as well that wore MAGA hats, right?
Yes. Infiltration. Infiltration.
So they go and they get, hold on, let me get to this real quick. I got to show you this clip. Y'all got your tinfoil hats on, right? Y'all ready? All right. Hold on. Let me go back to this little, because this is the weapons, right? Big, big money. So we have, hold on. I'm almost there.
Dizzy.
Well, don't look at the screen if I'm making you dizzy. I'll let you know when I'm done.
Yeah, wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for
It'll,
it.
here we go. All right. See, so these are the guns left by the USA in the Afghanistan war. Thank you for your patience. I know that was a lot to flip through. Let me show you, share screen and show you that. Let's go to, so that is the stockpile. Right here is the video. Tell me y'all should be able to hear this, right? Here we go. Check that out. Is that added? Let me add it.
I don't see
Add
it.
to stage. Here we go. I don't know what music that is, but Nadine told me to pick that song and put it with the video.
Oh,
What is that?
Jesus.
What is that?
You fibber. You big fibber.
No, but what's that? What
But
is that layout?
these are the weapons that when they go to war over there,
Oh,
allegedly they leave behind in other countries. They don't take them. So these are already paid for. So when they come back, guess what they got to do? Order more. Look at all those weapons. Like, you're talking about gun control, really?
First, they got to
Wow.
shave all those the license whatever off them, and then sell them to somebody else, right?
right.
This is what they should show Congress whenever they try to pass gun laws.
Right. Exactly.
All right, so that takes me to, it's not sure on that one. Remove from screen. All right, let's go back. Wheels on track. Share screen here. Already. All right, so the next little video is.
What's up, everybody? So we're gonna talk about Hegseth summoning. Now remember, the word summons is judicial. Okay, when you get summoned, you're going to court. Okay, but Hegseth, as in the capacity of the Secretary of War versus the Secretary of Defense, is summoning the top commanders, the generals, right? And if you watch the video from the UN, when they introduced Trump, they call him His Excellency and President of the United States of America. Well, President of the United States of America is Article 2. His Excellency is King. Okay? Remember I talked earlier about him inspecting his European army? So, Hegseth is summoning the generals. If you watch, there's an interview where even there was like a news coverage that actually said he must have been confused because he referenced them as like foreign, like he was calling the foreign generals. He didn't call them foreign, but he did say they were the commanders of the world. okay, of the world forces. What he's saying is generals are not American. They are flag officers. If you go back to my videos, I've explained this. I've explained that generals are international chambers of commerce magistrates. They are foreign to America. That's their foreign rank, okay? That is their foreign pay grade, all right? Under NATO or the World Health Organization or the Federated States, and most of them have foreign citizenships. They don't have American citizenships, okay? So what's happening, right? What you're seeing happening, what's happening, this whole thing with Hegseth summoning them to the farm. They're going to the farm. Why? Because we were farmers. That's why it's called the farm. Marine Corps Quantico is the farm. The residence from the South Lawn is the White House. Okay? So the other night, the Marine Corps silent platoon in formation entered from the South Lawn into the Oval Office as an assembled platoon. That means the American Marines have come back from the South. Now Hegseth is having a meeting on Tuesday. Why are they having the meeting? Every one of those generals were at one point in time American Eagle colonels. Once you leave the colonel position, you go to general. But they're foreign generals because they work for the flag. The flag is the Federated States of Micronesia. Okay? So what's happening is he's summoning them back because this is the gathering of the eagles. This is the kingdom, the people's kingdom nation coming online. This is the cardinals to establish the Pope for the Western Hemisphere. If you go back to my stuff, I told you that King Ferdinand, the Pope, established West Florida. Andrew Jackson was the first Pope. Andrew Jackson issued the Northwest Ordinance and started making all of these ordinances, which are basically Pope-like actions, and all this stuff that happened in 1819 with the Treaty of Sessions. So what's happening is the eagles are gathering. They're gathering to ratify the Western Hemispherical American Pope, or King of the West. That's what's happening. Okay? But they have to come back because they have to come out of their foreign capacity of the flag. They have to get into their American capacity as eagles or colonels so that they can ratify and vote. They're probably going to get educated on the fact that America lost the War of 1812. We've been occupied and usurped since 1814. And basically all the American veterans have been locked out of the nation. And basically our whole country has been occupied by foreign forces that we thought were domestic, but they weren't. They were foreign. And that's why we've been basically abandoned. But this is the return of the People's Kingdom Nation and the American Republic. And that's what you're seeing, because the generals, the commanders, have to be seated in formation so that they can cast their vote for it's the Cardinals. They're electing the Western Hemispherical Pope, or King of the West. So King of America. That's what's happening. I told you America's kingdom. So this is it. This is what's happening. So at least that's what I think's happening. So God bless and Godspeed.
Again, nobody knows. That was for entertainment purposes only
That
across the
kind of
screen.
aligns with what we have been taught, right? From Empress and Rod, right? And he mentioned the farm and Cardinals, right? We talked about the Cardinal points, the stadium for Charlie Kirk's thing was at State Farm. And the Cardinal sign was up there, right?
Yep.
Red Cardinal.
Red Cardinal fly.
Red Cardinal Clan.
It's that Red Cardinal clan, baby. What y'all know about that? Please like and subscribe. Let me know about the good. A little something about the Cardinal. So let's continue. Um, so we have the digital push coming out. I don't know if that's narrative right. They're showing us the takeover of TikTok, and the same person that took over TikTok also owns CNN, ABC, and other platforms. Also, what I find interesting is Ellis owns CNN, right? According to reports. So he wants to team up with Rupert Murdoch, right? He owns Fox, right? Isn't that a conflict of interest if you're competing networks to be trying to team up to take the battle to X and TikTok with the propaganda? It's not going to last long. It's going to be like a Mike Tyson fight, right?
Right.
Over in the first round.
Right. We're gonna have to just push back, right? I
Oh,
think this is
I've been
just the
seeing it.
final piece. There,
Yeah.
it's been done in the UK,
So it,
and they push back hard. And today, the American, what's it, air jets were sent over to the UK.
oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, I sent you that article. So maybe, hopefully, they'll be getting maybe some relief. I don't know.
All right. All right. Yeah, a lot of movement yesterday as well. We've seen uh, Trump fly in on the Marine Corps helicopters, helos, into the harbor in New York. Just, I think it was last night
I want you to do this one too.
as well.
I'll resend it to you.
Uh, so let me go, because we covered this TikTok thing, right? And we covered Larry Ellis right here. Let's cover him. We know that Oracle is really CIA. It's just an offshoot of it. But here, this was his message to humanity, right? Almost as if we don't have a say. But here we go.
Your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording, watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
When you come to government and what government's doing, there are artificial intelligence tools, and some of them I know that Oracle have developed around financial management for government. But also, tell us a bit about because you're right at the forefront of this revolution, what it means for what government should do in terms of its digital infrastructure, digital ID, data centers, and so on.
How do you take advantage of these incredible AI models? And the first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. You have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your electronic health records, your genomic data. And in the Middle East, in the UAE, for example, they're incredibly rich in data. They have a lot of population data. The NHS in the UK has an incredible amount of population data, but it's fragmented. It's not easily accessible by these AI models. We have to take all of this data we have in our country and move it into a single, if you will, unified data platform. So we provide context. When we want to ask a question, we've provided that AI model with all the data they need to understand our country. So that's the big step. That's kind of the missing link. We need to unify all of the national data, put it into a database. where it's easily consumable by the AI model, and then ask whatever question you like.
So you're really, through the use of this, you're revolutionizing the way government works, right? The services it provides, the way that it operates. What about things like financial management, procurement? How can AI help a government operate more efficiently, more effectively, give a more direct and better service to the citizen?
Well, we have these modern financial systems. So, countries can, and all, for example, the AI system will help you do that. But again, the secret is to get all of that data in one place. Without having the basic data, it cannot answer the question about your country. I think countries are very uncomfortable with keeping their data in other countries' data centers. So I think part of our essential infrastructure, just like airports obviously need to be in our country, or they're not terribly useful. Ports need to be in our country, and they're not terribly useful. Data centers, because of the privacy requirements around the data, need to be in our countries, or they're not terribly useful. They need to be in our countries, but they also need to be secure. And there are new technologies right now. This is the last year you will ever log on to an Oracle system with a password. Next, by the middle of this year, I'm quite certain you are Tony Blair. So how do I know? Well, I look at you, I hear your voice, I listen to the kind of questions you ask. I'm pretty sure you're not synthetically created in having this conversation. The security system, we have biometric logins. The computer recognizes you. It recognizes your voice. It might ask you to put your index finger on the return key. And we're absolutely certain it's you. There's no reason to enter a password. In fact, passwords are too easily stolen. Data centers and data is being taken hostage all over the world. The ransomware business is a very, very good business. It's getting bigger and better every year. We tend not to talk about it because the American FBI has a simple advice to someone whose data has been ransomed. Just pay them because there's nothing we can do about it. But there is something we can do about it, not after the data is stolen, but before the data is stolen. We can make sure that we're using the latest security technology, and it is going to be biometrics assisted by AI to make sure that you are in fact Tony Blair, and I'm sure you are. Now, I would love to have lived to be 150 years old.
Well, there's an amazing opportunity to reimagine the state, the way that government functions, and the service that it can provide for its citizens.
There we go. So that is Mr. Orr, Larry. He's 81 years old. He likes long walks on the beach. He looks like he's 50. Right.
I'm just so glad I don't believe that they're all alive and that's AI generated. I'd love to kick both of them in the balls, forward and backwards.
Right.
I really would. I would have to take classes in it because I've never done that. I've never kicked anybody, but that kind of stuff, it's like everything in one main central bunch of thief and pile of prick application. Oh,
You're like monsters.
they are monsters. Well, they were monsters until somebody grabbed them.
Right.
Oh, please! They can't be real, because if they were, we would not get away with the stuff we do, with pulling all the showing of all the proof, the receipts. Oh,
Yeah, that's what we're bringing. And people are doing it in their own way, especially Jim Brewer, right? He's a comedian.
Yeah.
So this is just comedy for entertainment purposes. But we know what they label the truth comedy. That's what I've learned over time, especially with George Carlin, right? That was just comedy, or was he telling you something? So we're going to play a few minutes of this. He's going to talk about exposing the TikTok takeover, what they're not telling you. But I've told you, can't say I had a sheepdog. Sheepdogs didn't tell you.
You something here, okay? TikTok has been bought out. This guy, no good. No good. Because he's, I don't know, whatever, he's Chinese. He's bad. You Chinese, we're sick and tired of you spying on us. We're sick and tired of all the bad things you do. You Chinese are, you're bad for humanity. Who bought out TikTok? Who? Larry Ellison? Larry Ellison. Who's Larry Ellison? The new owner of TikTok. Who's Larry? Larry! You hear me, Larry? That dog keeps barking. I'm going to kill it, Larry. He's a good looking guy, Larry. Gary looks like suave. Looks like he should be on a GQ magazine. I don't know if you know me, but I'm Larry Ellison. Okay, well, who is he? Okay. Oracle. Whoa. So he's like top 2, 3. Did like they make a big announcement about this today? Like in the White House? Can we see that? I want to hear what they say so I can dissect this. Okay, here we go.
Deal later this week at
Here we
some
go.
point. Under the terms of this deal, TikTok will be owned by a majority of American investors and controlled by a board of directors with extensive national security and cybersecurity credentials. In partnership with the U.S. government, Oracle will serve as TikTok's trusted security provider, and they will independently monitor the safety and data security of all U.S. user data on TikTok's platform. Americans' data will be stored securely in the United States without access from China. All U.S. user data will be stored on servers operated by Oracle in the United States, protected from surveillance or interference by foreign adversaries. And the algorithm, I know this is a question many of you have had, will be secured, retrained, and operated in the United States outside of ByteDance's control. And TikTok will remain globally interoperable, meaning TikTok users in the U.S. will be able to.
Okay, I heard China's bad. China's been spying on us, so this is going to protect us from China spying on us. And I also heard multiple times surveillance. So we're going to be protected by being surveilled. Where's he from? Where's Larry Ellison? What's his background besides being a billionaire? Is he from another country? Is he backed by another? Like, where do you get all his money? What's his deal?
I just want to take note right there. That's the questions you should be running through your head when you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on the world stage, so that you can make better sense of everything instead of just accepting the narrative. All right, so I just wanted to pause for a second just to point out how he went through the process of, all right, now let's do some research.
Is he from Germany? Is he grew up in Chicago? You guys are killing me. We talked about this today. Here's where we're getting to. I believe he's very pro-Israeli. He donated how much? Larry Ellison is strongly pro-Israel, demonstrated by his extensive financial support for the Friends of the FIDF. 16.6 million pledged to build an IDF training facility. He has called himself a vowed Zionist, okay, and a close friend
Nadine, is the sound good on your end?
Hell no. Hell no.
Y'all hear that?
I could just explode. I got Bud chewing up a paper
Okay.
bag.
All right, let me get back to the video. Let me know, chat. Let me hear.
You know what? I do like the way Jim Brewer is bringing everything out, because George Carlin, it was more of like a night show kind of. There were too many people in the audience laughing like a bunch of freaking morons, which most of us probably would have been, because we didn't believe it was going on. But I think the way Jim Brewer is doing it is really like smacking people. I don't know if I'm too tinfoiled hat at
Okay.
this point to, but
Yeah, 5x5. So yeah, I appreciate the way his angle, the way he does it. He's got his own little special way of kind of mocking or teaching, and
yeah, he's teaching. He's teaching. It's not coming across as like a night out joke kind of thing.
right. Okay, here we go.
Oh, you guys are killing me. We talked about this today. Here's where we're getting to. I believe he's very pro-Israeli.
Yeah, he's donating for the IDS.
He donated how much? Larry Ellison is strongly pro-Israel, demonstrated by his extensive financial support for the Friends of the FIDF. 16.6 million pledged to build an IDF training facility. He has called himself a vowed Zionist, okay, and a close friend of Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay, there you go. We are protected by Israel. Interesting. I didn't know this too, but Netanyahu said this. Do you know your cell phones? You know your phones? Watch this video. Watch this video real quick.
Cell phones? You have cell phones here? You're holding a piece of Israel right there. You know that? I mean, a lot of the cell phones, the medicines, the foods, you eat cherry tomatoes. You know where that was made? And they said, oh, Israel is isolated. Israel can't break out of the siege. No, I said, we will. Some of them have stopped weapon component shipments. Can we get out of this? Yes, we can. We're pretty good at producing weapons. Like intelligence, we share both with the United States. A good chunk of your intel. So those in Western Europe who think they can deny us things will not succeed. We can break this siege, and we will.
Well, there you go. They can break, and they just see your phone. Thank you, Netanyahu. Your phone is a piece of Israel. And the guy who gives to the Israeli Defensive Army now runs TikTok so they can, because we don't want another country unless it's over. We don't want Chinese going, what are they looking at? What are they saying bad about China? We don't want the Mexicans going, I can't believe what they're saying about us right now. I apologize to the Mexicans. I know I made you sound like Scarface. I made you sound Cuban, not even Cuban. I made you sound like Al Pacino trying to be Cuban. Why are they talking about us on the phone? Why you got to change it to the Gulf of America? Why? Which, by the way, did anyone in Mexico really get pissed? They're still taking shots going. They don't care. They don't care. They're still making tacos and crushing it in Mexico. Crushing it. But thank God, Israel now has TikTok, and they will, I believe they said they're basically gonna, did I hear it right? Where they're gonna do the security and they're gonna edit. Was there edit in there? Something I couldn't. You watch it. But thank God. Which, by the way, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say this right now. The Jewish people have. I think you're incredible human beings, and the citizens of Palestine. Yes, I did say that, and the citizens of Israel and the citizens of the world, I think, are incredible human beings. I think we're all incredible human beings. I think it would crush to live in Israel. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, they own TikTok. And apparently we didn't know he's going to siege, whatever that means. He basically said it. And we're going to, this guy, well, here's the best part about Israel. The government. Here's what's great about the government. And I got to say, they're genius. They are genius. Think about this. You work every day, right? Some of you work on Saturdays. Some of you are now working 7 days a week. Some of you are working 2 different jobs. Some of you, the mom is working and the dad is working while you got to pay daycare. Now think of all that work. Then you go home, you're like, look at my paycheck. But then you give it to our government because we trust them. And then they give billions to Israel. And Israel, I believe, I could be wrong, fact check me, they have free health. How awesome is the Israeli government? Is it true they give free health? Free health for the people? No, Israel's health care is not completely free. Okay, it is a universal mandatory system funded by income-related health taxes and requires residents to join one of 4. Erase everything I just said. Erase it. We call that misinformation. I apologize to the state of Israel. Comedy! All our government's cool. So what if there's a sign that says 50 states in Israel? What's the big deal? Come on, people, lighten up, lighten up. How amazing, though, that they get all this money. So as the people we trust, as we bomb Iran, I'm the peaceful president. Maybe not today. Okay. I'm the, where's that El Salvador? Not El Salvador. Where's that Venezuelan? You want to start something? Come on. I'm sorry, I'm back. I went off the rail a little bit, but I'm coming back, and I apologize. I could feel my face getting red. I know my face got red multiple times. So we don't take our money. We're getting all our money, and we pay the taxes, okay? Because we trust our government. That's why we pay our taxes. And then they take our money, and they go, here, government of Israel. And here's the genius of Israel. It's not like $50. They're getting billions. And here's what's kind of cool. Forget Maui. Who likes this anyway? I never was into that dance anyway. Forget the people of North Carolina going, can we get a little help? Still? Anyone? Forget the people of Palestine, Ohio, that everyone forgot about, whose water got toxic from a spillage. Forget Fort Myers, Florida. They got wiped out. Those southern boys could figure it out. Forget the fires in California. Who needs to help America? Who needs to help us? We work for everyone. You know what? I want to work more and pay other countries because we should worry about all them, right? We should worry about them because they need to defend themselves, right? That's what they need. They need to defend themselves. And then they got all that money. And then they pay, this is the brilliance, billions of dollars over here. Think of this exchange. Billions of dollars to me. And then I go to Congress or whoever and go, hey man, here's 600 grand to this governor. Hey, here's 400 grand. 400 grand. Billion? 400 grand. And that 400 grand will buy me new laws, not to talk bad about me. They'll buy me all these things. If you want to ban me, that's a big no-no. For $400,000, for $100,000, while we make billions from America. Go work, America, from 8 to 6 p.m. And if you can't afford it, tough on your ass. We need to defend other countries because, hey, there are friends. I got a lot of friends, dude. And when I loan out like $50, I'm like, dude, I've had enough of your friendship. You're like not, I'm not getting anything back. You don't call me back. You don't help me when I get a flat tire. I need some advice. You know where around, but you're okay taking my money. Imagine that too. You're willing to take someone else's money and just, now they say it's for defense, right? Listen, the last I checked, there's a lot of countries getting threatened and bombed. Now, I'm not the brightest human being in the world. I'm sure I'll hear that in the comments, and I already know that. But if I'm walking into a saloon and everyone in here is my enemy, and I walk in here, and this is my space, and someone comes up to punch me in the face, I have the right to defend myself. Or if they hit me like this, I'm like, oh, I'm going to hit you back. But now I ain't hitting the whole bar. That's offense. The last I checked, boom, I got this guy. I'm sorry. Click, choked him out. Now do I start looking at everyone else? Go, what are you looking at? Plop. What are you looking at? Pop, pop. What are you looking at? That's offense. Maybe oh, by the way, for all our money we send to another place, just a simple question, because they say it's for defense, defensive missiles and all this military. Do they have nuclear weapons? Does the government of Israel have nuclear weapons? Did you see this interview? It's just a question. I don't know. Maybe.
How many nuclear weapons does Iran have as of today?
Right now, I hope none.
Okay, how many does Israel have?
No idea.
No idea. You were in the government. They don't tell you that stuff.
No idea.
Who do they tell?
No idea. I'm telling you, I never discussed it. But it's irrelevant.
It's between, you never discussed Israel's nuclear weapons. You can say that hand on heart, you've never discussed Israel's nuclear. You're expecting us to believe that the Deputy Foreign Minister of Israel never discussed Israel's nuclear deterrent. Seriously, then?
No. So let me tell you, no? It's not all slogans and sound bites, Mehdi.
Tell yourself.
I did not discuss Israel nuclear weapons. I did discuss Israel nuclear policy. There's a big difference.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. So now we've got past that.
No, you have to.
How many nuclear weapons does Israel have? Because experts say it's anywhere between 80 and 400.
So what? So what? Yeah, so what? Has Israel ever threatened?
Do you recognize the hypocrisy of Israel having a secret illicit nuclear weapons program that it won't open up its doors to and won't talk about, and then lecturing everyone else in the region about nuclear weapons?
Absolutely not. You know why? You talk about, there's only one Jewish state in the world. Less than 1/3 of 1% of the entire Middle East. There are 22 Arab countries, 57. What do you want from us? And they're all trying to gang up on us.
It's not like you're just minding your own business, this kind of Norway in the Middle East with nuclear weapons. Danny, I'll ask again. We've gone off on a lovely diversion, which you're the master of. How many nuclear weapons does Israel have?
I don't know. By the way, another diversion, which I have to say.
No.
I have to
You can't pre-announce your diversions. Let me ask again. If an Iranian guest came on my show and I asked him about Iran's nuclear program, he said, I don't know, I'm not going to talk about it. Would you be okay with that? You'd be outraged.
Of course.
And
I
yet
would
you
be.
sit here as a former
Of course I
minister of
would
the
be,
Israeli
because-
government saying, oh, I don't know, I never talked about nukes with anyone.
Because there was like 16 United Nations Security Council resolutions against Iran.
And there is against Israel. And there is against Israel as well.
About
your nuclear
issues?
program?
No.
Yes, there is. UN
So-
Resolution 487. Let me read it to you. The UN Security Council in 1981 says, calls upon Israel urgently to place its nuclear facilities under the safeguards of the IAEA. Why haven't you done that?
Because
Okay. I don't know anything about this. I'm just asking questions. That's all I'm doing is asking questions. It's estimated, according to AI, that they have between 90 and 400 nuclear weapons. I don't know this is a fact. 90 to 400. Now that's the size of like New Jersey, maybe. I don't know how big Israel is, like the size of New Jersey. So you have how many times here in America, while we're paying and we're giving money, make sure you defend yourself, make sure you buy more missiles. Hey, we have a tragedy here in America. Don't worry about it. Hey guys, some more money. Here's some more money. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Make sure you vote for me. Quack, quack. If I walked into an establishment and I'm the only ones with guns, wasn't Saddam Hussein? He's got weapons of mass destruction. Can you define mass? They're like mass, like big, like bigger than usual, mass. And we should send our kids. And so what? A couple came back missing legs. Whoops, he didn't have any. Whoopsie daisy. But if I'm in a saloon and I'm the one with all the weapons, why am I worried about anyone in this room? Why am I worried about this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy? Because I know at any moment I can just go kapow, kapow. These are just bits. They're goofy. I love everyone. I love all governments. It's all just nonsense. At the end of the day, let the world be madness. You and I, we have to make each other laugh. We have to bring the cultures together.
There you go. You got to bring the cultures together, right? That is Jim Brewer. Go to, let me shrink this real quick. You can subscribe, Jim Brewer.
Sheepdog, you muted?
No. Can you hear me? Yeah. I'm right here. Yeah. Jim Brewer. Jim Brewers. Brewer. Brewniverse. Okay, gotcha. And he does comedy shows. I think he's got something kicking off after starting January. January. All right. Anyways, let's continue. All right. So we're talking about Larry Ellison. We're talking about the connections with that. We're talking about the taking over TikTok, X. Also the digital piece that's coming, right? Or is that going to be like a boomerang moment as well, where that of which they built actually enslaves
Esther
themselves?
moment, yeah.
So an Esther moment. So keep in mind that the slavery that you wish upon us will be upon yourself. So be careful what you ask for, right? We're going to play a little piece right here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, sure, on your end. 5 by 5. Okay. So here's another little clip. We played that this morning. Um, I would recommend people for an extended addition to what we're bringing tonight. The first thing we did today was amazing. 2 hours we put in some work for the people to help them better understand what's coming up, so that we don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe constantly. So here's another man's opinion. He's a veteran. Uh, just don't shoot the messenger. Just listen to the message. Let's see what he's got to say. We played him earlier. We're going to play this clip again.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? So I want to talk to you guys. About the pending quote unquote government shutdown. Okay, it's not a government shutdown. It's a Congress shutdown. Why is the Congress being shut down? Well, there's a couple reasons. One, it's a dumpster of shit. Two, the douchebags that are in it are garbage. And they are, and I'm not talking about all of them. Okay. But they are essentially just they're worthless. Why are they worthless? Well, they're worthless because it's not 1787. We don't have 50 states that we're in charge of. We are not an expanding colonization or expanding territorial organization anymore. Okay, so it's not 1787. Okay. That's done. All right. Power is not by the ground holder. Power is by the ability to trade and
There's
generate
echo going on.
riches. That's where power has been coming from. And that changed a long time ago. So this Congress, this 50 state Congress that's in international zone, a Western hemispherical international zone.
Let me do this.
What's up, everybody? So I want to talk to you guys about the pending quote unquote government shutdown. Okay, it's not a government shutdown. It's a Congress shutdown. Why is the Congress being shut down? Well, there's a couple reasons. One, it's a dumpster of shit. Two, the douchebags that are in it are garbage. And they are, and I'm not talking about all of them, okay? But they are essentially just they're worthless. Why are they worthless? Well, they're worthless because it's not 1787. We don't have 50 states that we're in charge of. We are not an expanding colonization or expanding territorial organization anymore. Okay, so it's not 1787. Okay, that's done. All right, power is not by the ground holder. Power is by the ability to trade and generate riches. That's where power has been coming from, and that changed a long time ago. So this Congress, this 50 state Congress that's in an international zone, a Western hemispherical international zone since 1823 and the Monroe Doctrine is shutting down. They were put there for commerce, and they don't do commerce. They don't do anything, okay, except cause problems. So America and the new American Republic is Western hemispherical. That's 36 countries. That Capitol building is for 36 countries, not 50 states, political jockeying douchebags to try and rob and rape and pillage everything they touch. Okay, so this Congress is being shut down. We are moving to a Western hemispherical jurisdiction in America, which I believe is 36 countries. Okay? The capital is going to house 36 nation states of the Western Hemisphere. Okay? Have you heard anything about the military not getting paid? Have you heard anything about law enforcement not getting paid? No. Because Congress is no longer has any power. They're getting evicted. They are tenants awaiting eviction. But they have to be bankrupted first, because you got to have cause to evict somebody. Okay, because they have rights. You know, they've done everything they possibly can to deny the rights of American individuals and American citizens. So that Congress is over. We are going to a Western Hemispherical Congress for trade. And that Western Hemispherical Congress is how our trade system is going to work. And I'm pretty sure it's 36 countries. Now, people are going to say, oh, well, what about our nation's capital? That's not a nation's capital. That's a global capital. It's a Western Hemispherical capital. It's like the center of political mechanism for the world, for the globe. Right? It's not, this isn't 1787. It doesn't take us 5 months to travel across the sea anymore. Like we have to update our system. So, but there will be a nation's capital. The other thing that's going to happen is that with these commanders coming back, they're going to find out if you're an officer in the American National Republic or in the Republic, you have to give up your privacy rights to NSA. And you have to give up all your financial rights. And you have to agree to be monitored for the rest of your life. That's the cost of having power. If you're going to be given this power to do things, you have to be monitored. You cannot have just outrageous amounts of power and especially military force and have privacy rights. You don't get privacy rights. You giving up you got to walk in the light. Like, that's just the way it is. The more power you get, the more influence you get, the more you get, the more ability you have to go insane, lose your shit, and the more dangerous you become. And with that is going to require you to give up your privacy. You're going to be monitored by NSA, and NSA is now Department of Interior. So you've got to start thinking that all law enforcement is actually attached to the military now. Okay? In the Department of Interior. Congress does not have a say in the military. Okay? That's national defense. Posse Comitatus, that's history. See ya. It's over. Because that Congress, that was illegal. That's how they got this done. That's how they pulled this off, was with Posse Comitatus. Having their own little making these home rules for counties where all the real fraud was happening. And their own little corporate sheriff and police, and that's over. So defense and criminal law enforcement will be nationalized, and that's going to go through the military, depending on how many people it affects and stuff like that. And that's going to be our law system, and it'll handle our equity through the Department of Interior. Everything that's exterior is commercial, and it's for revenue. But this Congress, these douchebags, they got evicted. They're evicted. And all their NGOs and all their garbage is evicted too. They got evicted. They're evicted. They are tenants awaiting eviction. There will probably be a provisional Congress in place before we get a national Congress. But the Washington is a Western hemispherical capital. So, because the Republic is back, it was always continental and it was always hemispherical. Monroe Doctrine, 1823, Western Hemisphere, Americas, independent. God bless, Godspeed.
And there we go.
All right. So who's going to be tracked and traced? anybody that's working in that capacity,
Yeah.
so that this corruption never happens again, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to serve, but
Now, it may look like it's coming for us, right? But it's not.
no
Right?
weapon formed against us shall prosper.
That's right. So they want us in fear. We have nothing to fear, right? There's going to be like a Esther moment. We're going to flip.
Look, if you start getting in fear, just grab a beer
Never again, Arkansas says,
or a
right?
burr.
Exactly.
Yeah. Never again.
Yep.
It's just listening. It's just listening when these people tell you who they really are and what they're doing. Give people enough time to speak and they'll reveal everything you want to know. It's when you're carrying around a bunch of labels that it turns it into something more than that. So I'm going to show you some things. Just listen, especially when it comes to this one, because he's got nothing left to lose.
So no president is ever going to desert Israel, right? Correct. I put it more bluntly. I said, as I told congressional leaders during the 1973 Yom Kippur War, no American president will let Israel go down the tube. Democrat or Republican, it's not a nation.
That is stated fairly categorically, and yet in your book you make it clear at the same time that Israel really is not of any enormous strategic value to the United States.
Now here's somebody that was a part of all of our lives here recently. Just listen.
There's no apology to be made. None. It is the best $3 billion investment we make. Whether or not in Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel to protect her interest in the region.
And now when it comes to the things that just happened, you just gotta follow the clues and listen.
Anyone who gets in the way, it doesn't matter where they are, even if they are politicians in the West, they are going to fall. Because we cannot afford. Hold on, did you hear what he just said? He threatened politicians in the West that if they don't agree with Israel's war against Iran, that they're going to fall. And remember, he's an Israeli agent. Are you saying Israel will murder politicians in the West or get rid of them politically through bribery?
So if you ask me, there's no labels needed here. He said it, and I believe him. Do you? Stay safe. Let's start this week off with some positivity, shall we? Now, I'm usually not the one to toot my own horn, but toot. Now, why am I celebrating hitting 100K on IG? Because it's really not about that. Well, not only has this been a battle for me, and shout out to the people on Instagram, I love you guys. But that's 100,000 people that are critical thinkers, or at least willing to think outside of the box. Now check this out, in case you didn't know, the UN proclaimed 2025 as the year of international quantum science and technology. Well, one of the big debates going on right now between the quantum physicists is that a lot of them think that the choices and the things that happened in the present day affect the past. It works like a quantum eraser. The things that happen in the present day make it so that all the things that happened in the past line up. Now, I know it's a wild concept with a lot of fancy words, so let me try to break it down for you. It doesn't actually change the past, it rewrites the observer. So think about that. That's generational trauma, addiction, things like that. You know, like completely rewiring your brain from all the lies that you were taught as a child. So there's a lot of people out there that think the kind of content that I make doesn't really make a difference. Well, I got proof that there's at least 100,000 people that are trying to change the way they think and the way they live their lives. Y'all stay safe.
Everybody heard that, right? Did y'all hear that? 5x5? Yeah.
Sheepdog, those journalists, when they come back, they'll be sat down and they're not going to be like, oh, well, let me go talk to my wife about, like they ever talk to their wife to make a decision, right? So they're gonna be, it's gonna be like choose right now, asshole. It's gonna be one of those situations, right?
Right. Yes.
Yep. So we're going to let's see here. Share screen. You want me to share that?
Yeah.
Just
Amos posted that.
and I'll
Just
share.
read that, kind of clarifies some stuff.
All right. Let's just let me go to. Okay, there it is. All right, joint statement by the foreign ministers of Qatar, Jordan, UAE, Indonesia, Pakistan, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt welcome U.S. President since efforts to end the war in Gaza, right? So 929 is 9119929. The foreign ministers of the state of Qatar, the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, the Republic of Indonesia, the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, the Republic of Turkey, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Arab Republic of Egypt welcome President Donald Trump's leadership and his sincere efforts to end the war in Gaza and assert their confidence in his ability to find a path to peace. They emphasize the importance of the partnership with the United States in securing peace in the region. Along these lines, the ministers welcomed the announcement by President Trump regarding his proposal to end the war, rebuild Gaza, prevent the displacement of the Palestinian people, and advance a comprehensive peace, as well as his announcement that he will not allow the annexation of the West Bank. So the ministers affirm their readiness to engage positively and constructively with the United States and the parties toward finalizing the agreement and ensuring its implementation in a manner that ensures peace, security, and stability for the peoples of the region. They reaffirmed their joint commitment to work with the United States to end the war in Gaza through a comprehensive deal that ensures unrestricted delivery of sufficient humanitarian aid to Gaza, no displacement of the Palestinians, the release of hostages, a security mechanism that guarantees the security of all sides, full Israeli withdrawal, rebuilds Gaza and creates a path for a just peace on the basis of the two-state solution, accordance with international law as key to achieving regional stability and security.
Nothing's as it was seemed, right? You got to remember the enemy was within, right? So disinformation, misinformation was necessary.
Check us out at Sheepdogs Pets. We enforce, restore, supports healthy liver function, supports healthy is that eye creation, helps promote healthy blood pressure as well. Sheepdogspets.com. So um, this was, hold on, let me go to a different screen real quick. Let's take this one off. Let's go to that screen right there. So we got a couple of things I'm gonna get real quick.
Possibly, because even So NASA came out and said that they're going to hit an asteroid with a nuke, possibly, because even though it might not hit the Earth, it could hit the moon. Isn't it so convenient all this shit just headed toward Earth? Guess you can't have a space force without having something to defend though, right? And it's not like war makes money for the United States or anything, and I guess if you can't have it on the ground, well hell, you can just have it in the sky. Look everybody, another catastrophic event that threatens all of humanity. While most people are just trying to pay for their food and get to work on time. Do you guys remember the last time this shit happened? I think it was the first time we were on our space race, actually involving the same people as this one that's going on right now. Russia, China, and America. Evil doesn't hate. So NASA came out and said that they're going to hit an in history. When Russia said that they were going to try to get to the moon before us, we actually threatened to blow the fucking thing up. It was called Project A119. Just go back to 1958. I'm sure they'll say it's for research, but that was actually the threat we made. Kind of like that event where they set off a nuke in the air, and it led to a massive EMP event. Politics is nothing more than the entertainment division of the military-industrial complex.
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome. Like, we should, as humanity, we should take a brief moment to go, that's awesome. One of the...
That's awesome. All right, so here's the moon. What they're fixing to do next. Let's play that.
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to...
The first time they're going to send humans to the moon.
Maybe this will be the sky event.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Scare event.
Stage is being set.
We'll see.
Boomers, it's not real.
Have humans in low Earth orbit.
My nephew thinks we landed on the moon. They're still teaching it in high school or elementary school, somewhere along the line. He gets into arguments with his dad about it. His dad's telling him, dude, we didn't land on no damn moon. His son's like, Dad, we did. Like, what? Here we go. But here we go again.
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome. Like, we should, as humanity, we should take a brief moment to go, that's awesome. One of the things that we most asked for and look forward to is we are going to do a crew conference between Integrity and the International Space Station, the crew that's up there. And
can you call from the moon when you land there? Can you please try to make another phone call again and see if you still have that crystal clear connection for us, please? Because this phone service down here sucks, and it's spotted.
And I will tell you, our friends that are on Crew 11 and our friends that are getting ready to launch on Crew 12 are arm wrestling between the station and home to see who gets to be in space when they talk. Like, they're as fired up as we are, and I did not expect that.
Okay. And those are some hellacious actors, I tell you.
Right.
Those are like the bullshitters, like the guy that bullshits at the end of the bar that nobody really wants to be around. He's always full of shit. You know he's full of shit, but he just... Here we go. All right, so we did that. Let's go to... Oh, here's the comms. We've got... So Border Patrol and ICE spotted on the Chicago River. Somebody said they voted for that. You voted for the Border Patrol and ICE to be going up and down the river where you live. Shit. Did you vote for the vaccines too?
I don't even want the cops patrolling.
Yeah.
I know.
Right. So you voted for the police state, surveillance state, right? What's coming? Okay. So here, this is what I noticed. The numbers on top of the boat. I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. 303, which is the 303rd day of the year, is the day before Halloween. But 303.
According to Mississippi, the cops now are under the Marines, right?
I voted.
By the Constitution.
I voted for the police state and martial law. Oh, sorry, I'm not muted. I thought I was muted. I just found that to be interesting, right? The 303.33. Right, so I just wanted to bring that real quick. All right, we did that. We did that. Okay, here is the government lockdown, right?
Are you even paying attention to what's about to happen this week? Does it bother you? Maybe I'm just at the stage in my life where I'm finally starting to wake up to all this craziness. Some of you are so locked in to being a Republican or a Democrat that all of this stuff with the government shutdown is just flying right over the top of your head. I already know your over the top stance is going to show up in my comment section. That's fine. But while you're busy defending your team, here's what's actually happening. Shutdowns aren't accidents. They're engineered cliffhangers, deadlines used as weapons, dragging the country to the edge just so politicians can push through their deals that nobody would vote for. Meanwhile, paychecks freeze, but theirs, Congress still gets paid. If that doesn't bother you, you're not awake yet either. Dysfunction? Nope. That's the design. While the average part of the world stresses, insiders win. Lobbyists, consultants, the ones who profit every single time are the ones who keep making us lose trust in our government. Call me crazy all you want, but I see it now. Shutdowns aren't proof the system's broken. They're proof the game's rigged. You got to let me know what you think in the comments. Unless you're so stuck on the red or blue side that you can't open your eyes. There's got to be a way for us to fix this. Because as I see it right now, the house is always going to cash in.
Said the
Miss like who?
Mississippi.
Okay.
I forget the rest of it, but the TikTok. He said Posse Comitatus was suspended, right? So, but we got to remember we're not party to the Constitution, right? Oh, they were. Right? We just have the Bill of Rights. Like you said, that was how they kept control and wasn't able to be taken down.
Alrighty, so this is the part of the show. We'll share these out. That came from Shipwreck. She on one of these. This one says, if everything's a scam, the government shutdown fear tactic is the biggest one that just keeps repeating, right? Here they are at the Utah Valley University. The workers aren't just ripping up and replacing where Charlie Kirk was sitting. They begin redoing the walkway behind him, even tearing down and redoing the ceiling directly above where he was shot. A crime scene being completely remodeled is kind of strange. Here it is right here. Yeah, well, that is a little strange, ain't it? All right, we just did that one. So they're thinking that shit's so bad that they're doing another moon landing. That's what Shipwreck said on X. We did Jim Brewer.
They've been going after her in her comments too.
Oh, who has?
Just the people.
Oh, bots.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, the battlefield's in the comment section, it seems like. All right, so we're going to wind it down a little bit. We're going to play this next clip here. We played this morning, but we can also play it again tonight. Maybe you haven't heard it.
Universe doesn't speak English. It speaks frequency. And this is the most honest language in the world. Think about it. If you say something in a language, you may doubt it inside of you. Or you could even lie to yourself. Frequency doesn't lie. If your thoughts, mind, and desires are not aligned, you may not reach that frequency.
So God is an energy that he's used to create something. So you know souls, right? Souls have the God energy in them.
Okay.
So let's say you took away the God energy from anything. It would just become nothing. Field. It's a field.
That's fascinating.
You can't ask it stuff. You can pray to it.
You can?
Yeah, you can. You can.
So
if someone doesn't believe in God, then I guess you don't believe in yourself, because basically every single living thing, and not even living thing, every single atom, every single piece of energy is made from the God source.
Wow.
So 13.8 billion years ago, the entire universe was reduced to a singularity, a particle smaller than a quark. However, if gravity is always working, i.e. if you jumped off this building, you're not going to fall 15 seconds later, you're going to fall immediately. So if gravity is always working, then and if the singularity was always there, like some atheists try to say, then the universe should have no age. It should be infinitely old. But it's not. It has an age. It's 13.8 billion years old. And something can't come from nothing, because it would have to exist in order to cause itself to exist, which is illogical. So therefore, something other must have created the singularity. And that something other we observe as God.
What is God?
Okay, so a lot of people think God is, quite in the biblical sense, a guy sitting up on a cloud who controls the universe, frankly, and has created all life. But my definition of God is not like that. I don't believe God is a person or entity. God is just another form of energy. Well, actually is energy. Himself, well, not even himself, itself. For the fact that you look at the Bible and other really, awesome but extremely vague and unreliable sources in religion that, hold these sources that we find and facts that we find, or so-called facts that we find, and really a lot of people think it's just about faith. But if you relate the Bible to quantum physics and apply most of the laws actually in less of a figurative sense, but more of a literal sense, and replace it with things like the universe, you'll eventually find out that it explains in-depth quantum physics and astrophysics, experiments and theories. Well, maybe not theories, because maybe now they're proven. Who knows? Maybe the Bible isn't a story of something that happened on Earth, but maybe a story of how our universe began. For the fact that, honestly, I don't really buy into the literal biblical sense, like, God is literally a guy who looks like us, who sits up in an alternate realm that's in our clouds and, watches over all of us. But I guess you could say that he's an energy form that created all, and is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. God, or energy, lives within us, through us, and
is us.
And is us, frankly.
So you said what? That God is the energy that is in us, created us, and is us. Is that your definition?
Yep.
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Sort of, yeah. God is energy. That's my thing. And I mean, like, you look at dimensional theory, and eventually we have, a singularity at the beginning of the universe that is energy. And then, eventually that begins to slow down in vibration due to entropy or some other law of that sort. And then, first you get photonic light, and then that slows down, and then we get matter, and then that slows down. And then who else knows what comes next? We have gravity, and then we have time, all coming in at one sense. And I mean, does that sound like origin story to you? It kind of does a little bit to me.
If you want to do something, you just need to believe it, and you can't just say, I believe I can do this, I believe I can do that, because it doesn't work. You really need to think it in your heart. And I mean by in your heart, right in your heart, in the middle of your heart.
Out of the mouth of babes, right? Words.
Out of the mouth of babes. Yep.
Yeah, that blew my mind.
So I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. This is your captain speaking. We are fixing to land. Please buckle your seatbelts. I hope you enjoyed the trip. Doom. Fasten seatbelts. That was the fasten your seatbelts ding dong button.
Okay.
Ding ding ding. Or you can just do a ding. Oh wait, that was a bird. I don't know what that is.
The eagle's flying in.
The eagle has landed. Okay.
Yes.
Are you getting it yet? What the comms was when
Well,
they
he said that
being the
the
first.
eagles being gathered, right?
Right.
And what did Princess Diana wear? The eagle's
Philadelphia
jacket.
Eagles jacket.
Mm-hmm.
So, go birds. I think that's all we got for tonight. Check out the again on Rumble. We upload other chats, 2 hours, 4 hour chats. So we would do 5, but they only let us do 4 recording.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get carried away, but today we did 2 hours. A really good show, really good chat, and it goes more into depth of what we're going to be facing in the future. But I don't think for long, because once the people have had enough on the left and the right, and they realize they're both being manipulated by the same entity, then you'll see real unity and real change taking place.
Right.
So I really look forward to that day. United we stand, divided we fall, right?
That's right.
Love, light, and knowledge to all.
I'll say.
Make,
Have a fun night, everybody.
Thank you, Nadine. Thanks for joining us.
we'll see y'all tomorrow morning, first thing. We got the QR code for the Telegram chat at the top right corner. No, wait, that's the Mushroom Lady's QR code. Sheepdog's Pets right there, top right. We got the Telegram chat right there right now. You can scan that. Come on in. Download Telegram. There is the Cash App, top right. And there is the War Room logo. This is for the TikTok, top right. Top left, Rumble QR code. Top left, YouTube QR code. Top left, Facebook QR code. And top left, TikTok QR code. And that's it. See you guys tomorrow.
Night, everyone. Love y'all.
Love and light.
We spoke our truths, we heal with sound, lifted each other, sacred and proud, gifts exchange, hearts aligned, Roar Room family, one of a kind, red cardinal clan, wings in the sky, chief pump straight, keeps the spirit high, mama's love, and flame, sheepdog swab, where we honor our name. Roar Room rising, the vibe is alive. We are the change, we thrive and we strive. Heaven on earth, we build and we carry the road. this life, take this song. You are the tribe, you belong. Speak your truth, let it bloom. You are forever. Oh, room. Welcome to the war room. Welcome to the war room. Truth on the mind, healing the soul. We rise and ignite. Mind, body, spirit, aligned in the flame. Roar room tribe, we roar in our name. Red cardinal clan, we fly with the light. Chief bump straight A, keeps our path tight. Mama's wisdom, roots in the land. We barter, we build, with sheepdogs' hand. We are the raw room, family and tribe. We speak, we heal, we manifest the vibe. Heaven on earth, we craft and we trade. Truth is our rhythm, love is our blade. Come with your gifts, your voice, your spark. We shine together, we light the dark. This is our temple, our sacred boom. Welcome, beloved, to the roar room.
Then if you really want,
Thank you to all our guests, our tribe, our crew. To the viewers and listeners, this love is for you. Good night, everybody. Light, love, and truth. Knowledge in your pocket, and the rhythm in your boots.